I'm Sunni Mercer, and I am the curator for Momentum Spotlight this year for OVAC. I teach adjunct art history at the University of Central Oklahoma, and I feel very privileged and honored to be able to do that. I love it. I love the energy of my students, and I love the research. I have my own business, which is museum interpretive and strategic planning. I work with national designers to design exhibits for museums. And then there's my studio. And that's where I bring everything in my life comes together in that studio. And that's probably the deepest passion because that's who I am. I'm an artist. And everything feeds that. The artists that we selected have been wonderful to get to know. They're each so unique. All of them are full of high level of energy, very creative, but from in many ways, disparate points of view. And why we entitled the exhibit Symbiosis is that there seems to be this link that brings us all together and that we're influenced by things outside of us, relationships. We're influenced by our origins, by our culture. We're influenced by media. All of these things play an important part in how we ultimately define ourselves. And each one of these artists seem to address a specific area in that arena. I think the thing about Jordan that fascinates me is the way she approaches the idea with the made material. And Jordan is capable of creating these assemblages that have that level of craftsmanship that is just fascinating. You don't always see that with conceptual installations. Sometimes they fall down when it comes to the level of craft. But to see an artist that can marry craft with the idea is really a wonderful experience for a curator. But I think it's a good thing to see that craft has not gone out the window with strong concept. And she is very facile with her figurative work, but it does not trump the idea. And I really respect that because it's so easy for facility to razzle-dazzle the viewer out of the idea, and hers doesn't. It is a really strong marriage. Liz, to me, reminds me a lot of some of the thought process that went into the way I would approach conceptual installation when I was working with filmmakers. She is so quick and so clever, and just can spin on a dime with ideas. And brainstorm sessions with her have just been exciting. I mean, to just watch her in process, the energy, the sheer energy. And I think that's part of what Momentum should be. But she has such an incredible energy level. And I can only imagine her students must just really absorb everything she says. I bet her teaching, her classrooms are incredible because she has that energy that you just want to aspire, that you would aspire to. And I just look forward to the times we meet with her because I just leave ready to work. She just kind of infuses that and everything. Tunde has been fascinating to get to know. I do several trips to Europe as part of my job. And the culture has always been fascinating to me, Northern and Southern European culture. Getting to know Tunde just in the short time we've had with her has been a real treat. Her ethic, her sense of hospitality, all of that is infused into her work. Her fantasy world, her world that kind of lies between what we know as American and her old world, coming together into this fantastical environment has been delightful. It's fun. It's like revisiting a place in the past where creativity was not limited by technical terms. It could, although she's incredibly technical, but to have that freedom, childlike freedom, is just it just exudes from her work, and it's just a breath of fresh air to visit with her. And she's just such a sweet person. I mean, she's just, she made us these wonderful chocolate things the first time we were there, and they were delicious, and that it took a lot of work, and it's just in her. You can just tell it's part of who she is, and I hope that I have a chance to get to know her better. They're each going to have their own space. This is not a collaborative installation, and so each one is going to have their own space and their own installation. But we're going to tie it together using color, text, typography, elements outside of the artist to kind of thread the artist together so that you can ultimately have a viewing track if you wanted to. But each artist will have their own space. It will not seem like you're going to be visiting 3 separate exhibits. I think it's going to feel like one exhibit, but with 3 chapters. Having some history with OVAC, I'm so thankful and so pleased to see the level at which OVAC is stretching now, to have programming like this that encourages emerging artists to really step out there and be involved in a way that might not have happened and didn't happen 10 years ago. I'm just really thrilled to see where OVAC has grown to. It just makes me feel really good to see what it's done, where it's gone, and to know that it's got such good leadership and such a great future, and to see all the artists that it's impacted and the brilliant things that have come out of it in just the last 6 years has been really neat for me.